Hi everyone, I'm Bubbles from Susan's family. Today, I'm going to introduce you the floral encounter. This cardigan consists of the main part and decorations. Start by crocheting the main part, then, make the decorations afterward. The cardigan comes in two sizes, small and large. The crochet method is identical for both sizes. Only the stitch count and row count differ. The main part includes the right front piece, left front piece, back piece, sleeves, joining together, hem, front band and cuffs. First, crochet the front and back pieces separately. Then, crochet the sleeves and attach them. Afterward, crochet the remaining parts. Let's start by learning how to crochet the right front piece. Here, the distinction is made based on actual wear. It is divided into the body and the chest piece. The body uses the foundation chain method to start. Crochet back and forth along the starting chain. The stitch techniques used include chains, slip stitches, double crochets, single crochets, and DC2 tog, half double crochets, and HDC2 tog. Now, let's show. To make it clearer for everyone, I will demonstrate using yarn in a different color. For specific yarn color schemes and hook sizes, please refer to the detail page of our product and the paper instructions. Start with the foundation chains. Refer to the chart for the exact number of stitches. That completes the casting on. Then work row 1. First, chain 3 as the turning chain for the double crochet. This counts as one double crochet when there is no special instruction later. All turning chains of 3 will count as one double crochet. Next, make a chain interval. Then in the 6th chain from the hook, pick up the top loop and work one double crochet. After completing it, skip one stitch, work 3 double crochets in sequence. Similarly, pick up the top loop of the chain and crochet. After completing, skip one stitch, then work 2 double crochets on the adjacent chain on the left side. In between, make one chain interval. After finishing, skip one stitch, then work 3 more double crochets. Continue this process all the way down to complete the row. Finally, after completing the last 3 double crochets, the first row is now completed. Let's move on to crochet the second row. Make one beginning chain. Turn your work. Start by working 4 single crochets along the stitches in sequence. Pay attention, after turning, the stitches will be in the top left position. After completing, make 3 chain intervals. Then continue working single crochets along the stitches. Proceed with this method to finish the row. Finally, pick up the beginning chain, and crochet a single crochet. That completes the second row. Now let's move on to the third row. Start by making 3 beginning chains. Turn your work, then work 2 double crochets in the left chain space. After completing, skip 2 stitches. Work 2 double crochets in the adjacent stitch. Crochet 1 chain as an interval between them. Follow this method to finish the row. This completes the third row. Next, follow this method. Refer to the pattern and continue crocheting all the way down to row 11. The stitch techniques and methods used have been demonstrated before. After completing, leave a bit of tail and fasten off the yarn. Then weave in the yarn tails on the wrong side. The right side of the first row is the right side of the entire piece, the other side is the wrong side. Weave in the starting tail on the wrong side. Now let's move on to row 12. Note that my sample here is for demonstration purposes, so it has fewer rows. Place the wrong side facing you, and take the corresponding color yarn. Join the yarn at the very edge stitch. Keeping the tail on the wrong side. Make 1 beginning chain. Crochet 1 single crochet in the same stitch. Then make 1 chain. Skip the next stitch. Crochet 2 double crochets. The interval stitch count varies depending on the size. 2 chains. And 2 double crochets. Then crochet 2 more chains. Skip 2 stitches, then crochet 1 slip stitch. Note that the slip stitch here is in an oval shape, which means not to pull too tight. After completing it, crochet 2 more chains. Skip 2 stitches. Then crochet 2 double crochets. 2 chains. And 2 double crochets. Then crochet 2 more chains. Next, make 1 slip stitch in the adjacent chain space. Continue repeating this process. Refer to the pattern. Finish crocheting this row. Lastly, crochet a DC2 tog. Start by making an unclosed double crochet in this double crochet. Then make another unclosed double crochet on the beginning chain. Yarn over and draw through in once. That completes the DC2 tog. Row 12 is now done. Next, let's start crocheting row 13. Make 3 chains as a beginning chain. Turn the work, crochet 3 double crochets in the adjacent chain space. Then crochet 2 chains. Crochet 1 more double crochet in the adjacent double crochet. Next, work a DC2 tog. First, find the 2 corresponding stitches. Work 1 unclosed double crochet in each of them. Then yarn over and draw through once. That completes the DC2 tog. Continue following the chart to finish this row. After completing the last DC2 tog, row 13 is done. Now, keep referring to the pattern. Crochet all the way down to the last row of the body. Remember to switch colors at the designated row number. Now let's work on the last row. Here, I've already finished the previous stitches. After crocheting the last 2 chains, work 1 half double crochet in the same position. Then work a HDC2 tog. Start by working 1 unclosed half double crochet in this stitch. Then work another unclosed half double crochet into the turning chain. Yarn over and draw through once. That completes the HDC2 tog, and with that, the last row is done. That concludes the body. Next, let's crochet the chest piece. Continue crocheting upwards using the yarn tail from the body. The new stitch technique we'll use is the treble crochet. Now, let's show. First, turn your work over. Then start from the adjacent stitch. Crochet 1 slip stitch first. Then make 1 chain. Follow up with 1 slip stitch in the chain space. Continue with 1 slip stitch in the next adjacent stitch. Then make 3 chains as the beginning chain. Refer to the pattern and complete this row. After finishing, the first row is done. Now let's crochet the second row. Make 3 chains to start. Turn your work. Crochet according to the chart. Finally, after completing the last 2 chains, crochet 1 treble crochet. Yarn over the hook twice, insert. Draw the yarn through. Then yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops. Repeat this 3 times. That completes the treble crochet. The second row is now finished. Next, continue referring to the pattern. Keep going until you finish the last row. Now let's crochet the last row. First, carry the yarn across. Take the yarn or fabric you're crocheting, and yarn it through the loop. Slightly tighten. Then turn your work over. Hook the yarn out from the corresponding chain space. Carry the yarn and keep it a little loose. Make 1 beginning chain. Then finish this row. After crocheting, leave a yarn tail, fasten off, and weave in the ends. This completes the last row. That concludes the right front piece. Next, let's learn how to crochet the left front piece. It is also divided into the body and chest piece. Start by crocheting the body first, then move on to the chest piece. The crochet method is almost identical to that of the right front piece. Everyone can follow the methods we've learned earlier. Refer to the pattern and crochet accordingly. Pay attention to the row numbers after crocheting and then proceed with color changes. Below, everyone can complete it on your own. That concludes the left front piece. All the front pieces have now been covered. Next, let's learn how to crochet the back piece. It is divided into the body and shoulder parts. Start by crocheting the body first. Then move on to the shoulder parts. Afterward, using the yarn tail from the body, crochet the right shoulder part. Once done, fasten off the yarn. Then crochet the left shoulder part. After completing it, break the yarn and weave in the ends. Below, everyone can refer to the pattern and complete it on your own. That concludes the back piece as well. Next, let's learn how to crochet the sleeves. There are two identical sleeves. The crocheting method is almost the same as for the front and back pieces. Everyone can follow the pattern and crochet on your own. After finishing, leave a yarn tail, fasten off, and weave in the ends. That concludes the sleeves as well. After everything is crocheted, it's time to join the pieces together. Start with the shoulder joining, sleeve joining, and the side seam joining of the front and back body pieces. When joining, always place the right sides together and crochet from the wrong side. Let's start with the shoulders. Joining involves working single crochets into the stitches or chain spaces from two pieces. In between, you can crochet chains. The number of chains can be referenced from the pattern. You can also adjust according to your own crochet tension. After crocheting, make sure the fabric lays flat. Below, we will provide a method for joining the shoulders. Learn the method first, then start crocheting. Take the right front piece as an example. Note that the left and right front pieces refer to the actual left and right when wearing. Place the right front piece and the back piece with the right sides together. The wrong sides should be facing out. You can start joining from either side. Overlap and align the shoulders. This sample is the back piece. This one is the right front piece. We'll start from the edge here and join all the way to this double crochet position. On the back piece, this is the double crochet position. Insert the hook through a few yarns of both fabric edges at once. Join the yarn. Work one chain. Work one single crochet at the yarn joining point. Then work 2-3 chains. Here, I'm working 3 chains. Leave a small interval and insert the hook through a few strands of the fabric edge at once. Continue with one single crochet. This interval is roughly the same as the length of the chains. Make sure the fabric doesn't shrink after completing it. Also, when you encounter carrying yarn, wrap the carrying yarn into the stitches. The joining process alternates between one single crochet and 2-3 chains. Complete the joining of this edge. After completion, cut the yarn. Once the shoulders are joined, proceed to join the sleeves. Here, I'll explain using a finished product. First, join the side seam of the sleeve. The method is the same as joining the shoulders. Work single crochets and chains on the wrong side. Hook into the stitch along each row's edge here. After finishing, cut and weave in the yarn. Then join the sleeves to the front and back pieces. Align the sleeves so that the side seam faces the underarm area. Then secure them to the front and back pieces with stitch markers. If you don't have stitch markers, use safety pins or paper clips as substitutes. Secure the shoulders as well. Then fix a few points between them. When joining here, crochet with the corresponding color yarn of the front and back pieces. Use single crochets and chains to join. Now, follow the method you learned earlier. And join everything together. That concludes how to join the sleeves. Lastly, let's join the side seams of the body. Join the remaining part of the bodice side seam. Pick up the stitches along the edge on the wrong side. And crochet with the corresponding stitch to join. Keep in mind here, match the color segments with the correct colors when joining. When the front and back pieces are different colors, use the same color yarn as the front piece to join. When you reach the underarm position, you can crochet approximately 1-2 stitches at the sleeve location. This ensures there are no noticeable holes under the arm. After finishing, fasten off and weave in the ends. That concludes how to join the bodice side seam. The entire joining process is now complete. Next, let's learn how to crochet the hem. It is divided into 2 parts. Start by crocheting section 1, then move on to crochet section 2. Section 1 is crocheted along the starting edge of the front and back pieces. Now, let's show. Place the fabric with the right side facing you. Ensure the starting position is facing upward. On the outermost chain of the left front piece, pick up the other 2 strands to join the yarn. This is the same insertion point as that double crochet stitch. Make 1 chain to begin. Work another single crochet in the same stitch. Then continue to work single crochets along the chains. When you encounter a chain space, pick up and crochet into the chain space. Keep going along the starting edge of the front and back pieces. Finish this row completely. Make sure not to skip any joining positions as you go. Once done, section 1 will be completed. Now let's move on to section 2. Use the previous yarn tail to continue. Start by making 7 chains. Chain 2. Start working half double crochets from the third chain from the hook. Complete all the chain spaces. After finishing, slip stitch into the third single crochet from the end of section 1. Chain 1. Skip 1 stitch. Work 1 slip stitch. Then turn your work. Pick up and work half double crochets in the back loops only. That is, the yarn that is farther away from you. After completing, make 2 chains as a beginning chain. Turn the work. Continue working half double crochets in the back loops only. After finishing, slip stitch into the space between stitches of section 1. Chain 1. Skip 1 stitch and work 1 slip stitch. Turn the work again and continue crocheting. Below, continue using this method. Complete section 2. After finishing, leave a yarn tail, fasten off, and weave in the ends. That concludes section 2. The hem is now complete. Next, let's learn how to crochet the front band. It also consists of 2 parts. First, work along the side edges of the front and back pieces, the neckline of the back piece, and the hem position for section 1. Then crochet section 2. Now, let's show Color changes are required during the crocheting process of section 1. Use the same color yarn as the front and back pieces, and the hem edges to crochet. First, take the same color yarn as the hem. Join the yarn at the position of 2 chains on the hem edge. Make 1 beginning chain. Work 1 single crochet in the same position. Continue crocheting along the hem. Pick up 1-2 remaining yarns from the chains to crochet. After completing, section 1 of the hem is also finished with 1 stitch. Crochet by picking up 1-2 yarns. Then you reach the position of the front piece. Continue crocheting with the same color yarn for a few rows. Note that my sample has fewer rows. When you need to change colors at the next row, first crochet 1 unclosed single crochet, then take the same color yarn for the next row. Draw the yarn through. This completes both the single crochet and the color change. Whenever you need to change colors in section 1, follow this method for crocheting. Continue crocheting along the side edge. The insertion point for the single crochet here can be referenced from the pattern. You can also roughly crochet it. After finishing, make sure the piece lays flat, and ensure the stitch count matches the chart. When encountering a decrease, pick up the unclosed stitch to crochet. While crocheting, weave in the yarn tail in a few stitches. Change colors as needed. It's better to weave in the ends for a few more stitches before cutting the yarn. When doing a HDC2 tog at the corner of the chest piece, if you can't find the exact position here, you can roughly pick up 1-2 strands to crochet. When you encounter a slip stitch position, you can hook into the braid of the slip stitch. Or you can also hook in the same position as the slip stitch. Continue crocheting along the front piece. After finishing, move on to the back piece. Pay attention to changing colors. Continue picking up the side edges, chain spaces, and stitches of the back piece to crochet. Note that you also need to crochet half double crochets here. Refer to the chart and crochet the back piece until it's completed. After finishing, continue crocheting along the front piece and hem. Note that you also need to pick up the 2 chains on the edge here. Don't cut the yarn after finishing. The first part is now complete. Next, let's learn section 2. Here, I'll explain using a sample. Continue crocheting from the yarn tail of section 1. The stitch technique at the corner is slightly different here. You can refer to the number of stitches marked on the chart, use a stitch marker to separate sections, or make a mark at the approximate corner position. After crocheting the corresponding number of stitches, you'll reach the front piece corner position. Just crochet the matching stitch pattern there. Crochet the corner on the other side of the front piece in the same way. When crocheting the other side, you also need to create buttonholes. The placement of the buttonholes can be referenced from the chart. Alternatively, you can crochet them evenly according to your preference. Now everyone, refer to the diagram. Finish crocheting this part on your own. That concludes the second section. The front band is now covered. Next, let's learn how to crochet the cuffs. Crochet in rounds along the starting point of the sleeve. Now, let's show. Place the starting point facing up. Here, I'll demonstrate using a small sample. Join the yarn at the edge of the chain. Make 1 beginning chain. Then crochet single crochets along the starting point. After finishing, slip stitch into the first single crochet. Pull tight. That completes section 1. Next, let's move on to section 2. Start by crocheting 7 chains. The method afterward is the same as for the hem. Please refer to the pattern and crochet accordingly. After completing, leave a long yarn tail and fasten off. Thread the reserved yarn tail into a sewing needle. Then sew the beginning and ending together. When sewing, insert the needle into the front loop of each stitch. At the starting point, pick up just one strand of yarn. After sewing, tie a knot on the wrong side, and weave in the yarn tail. That concludes the cuffs section. Up to this point, we have covered the entire main part. Next, let's learn about the decorations, starting with the pocket, leaves, small flowers, branches, assembly and buttons. Start by crocheting the pocket. We will start from foundation chain, then work back and forth along the starting chain. Finally, crochet in rounds. The new stitches used include FPDC and SC 2-in-1. Now, let's sew. First, refer to the pattern. Cast on and finish the first row. I've already completed this part here. Now let's move on to the second row. Make 3 chains as beginning chain. Turn the work, then comes the FPDC. Since we're crocheting on the wrong side, the stitch will be opposite of what's shown on the chart, so we'll work BPDC. Insert the hook from back. Pick up the stitch from right to left and work a double crochet. That's how you complete the BPDC. Then work 1 regular double crochet. Follow with another BPDC into the adjacent stitch. Continue alternating between regular double crochets and BPDC. Keep going until you finish this row. Once done, the second row is completed. Now let's move on to the third row. Chain 3 as beginning chain. Turn your work. Next, we'll do the FPDC. This is worked on the right side. Work a regular FPDC. With the hook in front, go from right to left. Pick up this stitch and work 1 double crochet. That completes the FPDC. Continue alternating between regular double crochets and FPDC. Keep going until you finish this row. Once done, the third row is completed. Now let's work on the fourth row. Make 1 beginning chain. Turn your work. Start with 1 SC 2-in-1. That means working 2 single crochets in the same position. This completes the SC 2-in-1. Then continue working single crochets in sequence. Finish with another SC 2-in-1 at the end. That completes the fourth row. Next, we'll work on the fifth row. Make 3 chains as the beginning chain. Turn your work. Work 4 double crochets first. Then skip 1 stitch. Work 1 FPDC. Insert the hook from right to left into this single crochet stitch. Work 1 double crochet. Pick up this single crochet stitch, and work another double crochet. Then work one more FPDC here. This is equivalent to working 3 stitches in the same position. Continue with this method, refer to the chart and complete this row. This completes the 5th row. Now let's work on the 6th row. Make 3 chains as the beginning chain. Turn your work. Work 3 double crochets first. Skip 1 stitch. Work 1 BPDC. Pick up the FPDC from the previous row and continue crocheting. Continue picking up this stitch and work 1 double crochet. Then work 2 more double crochets in sequence. Next, pick up the adjacent FPDC. Work 1 BPDC. Continue referring to the chart to finish this row. After completing it, the 6th row is done. Now let's work on the 7th row. Make 3 chains as the beginning chain. Turn your work. Work 2 double crochets first. Work 1 FPDC 2 tog. Keep the hook in front. Pick up the same stitch, where the previous double crochet was worked from right to left. Work 1 unclosed double crochet first. Then skip 1 stitch. Pick up the adjacent post stitch. Work another unclosed double crochet. Yarn over and draw through all loops on the hook once. That completes the FPDC 2 tog. Continue to finish this row. That completes row 7. Next, continue to refer to the pattern. Work all the way down to the last row. Once completed, start crocheting the final round. Make 1 beginning chain. Turn your work, then crochet along the stitches. After finishing, crochet along the edges of each row. Refer to the pattern for the insertion point if needed. You can also crochet roughly as an estimate. After crocheting, ensure the fabric lays flat. Once done, crochet along the starting chain. Then continue crocheting along the edges of each row. After finishing, join with the first single crochet, using a slip stitch and tighten. That completes the final round. Leave a yarn tail about 3 times the circumference of the fabric. This concludes the explanation for crocheting the pocket piece. After completing the pocket, add a roughly centered position above the pocket. Sew on the leather label. Now, let's sew. Cut about 30 centimeters of the same color yarn as the pocket. Thread it into a sewing needle. First, secure the yarn tail at the corresponding position. Then start sewing along the holes on one side. After finishing one side, you can tie off and cut the yarn, or carry the yarn across inside the fabric to continue. From there, sew along the other side. Once done, tie a knot and weave in the ends. That's all for the demonstration on sewing the leather label. Finally, sew the pocket onto the left front piece. With the starting point facing downward, align it roughly with the first row below. Place it slightly closer to the front band on the left side. Then sew along both sides and the bottom. Before sewing, you can mark the position to secure it first. Now, let's sew. Thread the reserved yarn tail into the sewing needle. Then sew by following the corresponding stitch positions. Pick up the surface loops of the main body. After sewing, tie a knot on the wrong side, and weave in the ends. That completes the pocket sewing. That's all for the pocket. Next, let's learn how to crochet the leaves. There are 3 identical pieces. We will start from foundation chain. Work around the foundation chain. Now, let's show. Start with the foundation chain. Pay attention, my sample has fewer stitches. Refer to the pattern for the exact stitch count. Then, make one beginning chain. Next, start from the second chain from the hook. Crochet 2 single crochets in sequence first. Then crochet 3 half double crochets. Follow with the corresponding number of double crochets. After finishing, crochet 3 more half double crochets. Then crochet 1 single crochet. Finally, crochet 3 single crochets in the remaining chain. After crocheting, rotate the piece. Pick up the other 2 strands of the chain on the opposite side. Crochet symmetrical stitches as you did on the previous side. Join with a slip stitch to the first single crochet. Pull tight. Leave a yarn tail about 3 times the circumference of the leaf. That completes 1 leaf. Then, crochet 2 more leaves using the same method. After finishing, set them aside for later use. Next, let's learn how to crochet the small flower. It consists of petals and a flower center. First crochet the petals, then crochet the flower center. Use the magic ring method for the petals. Crochet in rounds counterclockwise from the magic ring. Below is the demonstration. Start with a double magic ring. Then chain 4 as the beginning chain. Crochet 2 treble crochets into the magic ring. After finishing, chain 4 again. Make 1 slip stitch into the magic ring. Treat the completed stitches as one group. Next, repeat crocheting 4 more groups. After finishing, close the loop tightly. Then leave a long tail and cut off the yarn. Weave in the starting yarn tail on the wrong side. Then trim it off. That's how you finish crocheting the petals. Now let's move on to crochet the flower center. Use the magic ring method again. Crochet in rounds counterclockwise around the magic ring. Now, let's show. Begin with an adjustable magic ring. Make one beginning chain, then work 4 single crochets into the magic ring. After finishing, tighten the ring. Slip stitch to the first single crochet. Pull tight. Leave a longer tail and fasten off the yarn. Weave in the starting yarn tail. Then cut the yarn. That completes one flower center. Next, assemble the flower center with the petals. Thread the reserved tail into a sewing needle. Then sew through the middle of the petal. There's no specific requirement for the sewing method, just make sure it's secure. After sewing, tie a knot on the wrong side, and weave in the ends. That completes one small flower. Now follow the same method for the rest. Crochet the remaining small flowers. Set them aside after you're done. Next, let's learn how to crochet the vines. There are 3 vines here in different lengths. All of them start with the foundation chain. Continue crocheting along the starting chain. The new stitches used include the DC4 bobble. Below, I'll demonstrate the method using the shortest one. Start with 1 chain. Then begin crocheting the first row. Make 4 chains to start. Then pick up the first chain and work 1 treble crochet. That completes the first row. Now let's move on to the second row. Make 4 chains to start again. Then turn your work. Pick the treble crochet stitch and work a DC4 bobble. First, work 4 unclosed double crochets. Then yarn over and draw through all loops in one go. That completes 1 DC4 bobble. Work 3 more chains. Continue by working a slip stitch in the same position. Work 3 more chains. Then pick the large space of the first row, and work 1 treble crochet. That completes the second row. Now let's work on the third row. Make 4 chains to start. Turn your work over. Pick the treble crochet stitch, and work a DC4 bobble. Work 3 more chains. Work 1 slip stitch in the same position. Work 3 more chains. Then pick up the chain space next to the treble crochet from the previous row. Work 1 treble crochet. That completes the third row. Let's take a look. Both the bobble stitch and the slip stitch are worked into the treble crochet stitch. The treble crochets are all worked into the chain spaces. Follow this method to continue. Refer to the chart and match the corresponding row numbers to finish the vines. Pay attention, for the last row, you only need to crochet half of it. After completing, leave a long yarn tail and fasten off. Weave in the starting yarn tail. Once done, follow the same method to crochet 2 more vines corresponding to the required row numbers. After finishing these, also leave a long yarn tail and fasten off. Note: for the longest vine, you can refer to the pattern for the number of rows. You can also compare its length with the right front piece and the back piece. Break the yarn when it's about the right length. That concludes the vines. Finally, sew the leaves, small flowers, and vines onto the main body. Start by sewing the leaves. Sew the leaves above the pocket. The one on the left side should be slightly closer to the inside of the pocket. Then leave an interval of about the width of a vine, and sew 2 pieces on the right side. Position them slightly staggered, one above the other. The sewing method is almost the same as the one used for the pocket. It also pick up stitches to sewing. Below, everyone can sew it together on your own. That concludes the explanation of how to sew the leaves. Next, let's sew the small flowers. You can refer to the placement in the finished product, or you can arrange them according to your preference. Here, I will demonstrate the sewing method. Thread the reserved yarn tail from the petals into the sewing needle, then roughly sew along the back of the petals to the main body. After sewing, tie a knot on the wrong side, and weave in the ends. Below, follow the same method to sew the rest of the flowers. That concludes how to sew the flowers. Next, let's sew the vines. First, take a look at the sewing positions. The slightly shorter vine is sewn on the right side of the leaf. The slightly longer vine is sewn between the leaves. The longest vine is sewn in the middle section, extending along the right front piece all the way to the other side of the back piece. The sewing method here is almost the same as the one used for the small flowers. You can also sew according to your own preference. If the yarn isn't long enough during sewing, you can tie off and weave in the ends. Then take a new yarn and continue sewing. Below, please go ahead and sew it on your own. That concludes how to sew the vines. Up to this point, the assembly process has been fully explained. Finally, let's sew on the buttons. At the corresponding position of the buttonhole on the other side of the front band, use the same color yarn as the front band to sew. There's no specific requirement for the sewing method. Just make sure it's sewn securely. Below, please go ahead and sew it properly on your own. That concludes the explanation of the buttons. Up to this point, all the decorations have been fully explained. This completes the explanation of the entire cardigan. If you still have any unclear points during the crocheting process, don't hesitate to join our Facebook group to get support. Susan's Family, supporting your handwork experience, sharing the joy of life. Thank you all for watching. See you in the next episode.